things. Deadpool. We saw Deadpool yesterday.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Did they save the Marvel Universe? We'll find out now. So do you want to break down the movie first? You guys want to break down the movie? The synopsis?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I got this. So
I believe in you.
Thank you. So we start off.
You got this.
Thank you. I see you getting ready. Fucker. So we start out the movie like every other Deadpool movie where, it takes place more towards about 20 minutes in. And it goes on. We open up with him in the Logan universe, which is his actual universe, but he's time traveled to the future where Logan dies. And, they said, don't desecrate this film. And he said, fuck that. We are going to do just that. So he tries to dig up Wolverine, yada, yada, finds out he's actually dead for good, and uses what's left of his adamantium body to kill the TVA agents that have come to collect him.
Just to cut you off real quick.
Yeah, bring it in.
Because about that part right there, I'll bring it in real good, is that part right there for him to say, oh, people are scared that we're going to ruin his name and that he had such a good ending. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. That part right there was like, anything that happens in this movie, it's not bad. It's not going to ruin Marvel. You mentioning that, you saying that, I'm like, all right. I know you're going to be
that
good
solidified it. Because also that's you mentioning to the fans like you didn't build this. Yep. We built this.
This is just for fun.
We will do as we please. Mm-hmm. We appreciate you watching it over the years, but this is ours. Let us do our thing.
So he's like, he'll be doing it till he's 90.
Yeah. And so we have a fighting montage between Deadpool and the TVA, and which he, of course, fucking obliterates to Bye 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 by, who's that again?
NSYNC.
NSYNC. I get NSYNC and Backstreet Boys mixed up every time.
I was about to say Justin Timberlake.
NSYNC has better singers.
Oh, do they? Yeah, just JT. It's the world tour's over.
He won.
This has ruined the world tour.
Lance Bass.
I do like him, but exactly.
Shout outs to all the players.
So he does, and Deadpool does the dancing choreography of Bye 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 during the fight. Fire intro to a movie, if I do say so myself. Really gets you hooked in, and till we get to the title card, and Deadpool says, I wonder how I got here. Let's take it back a bit. And we see a montage of Deadpool 2, the time travel shit, and we get Wade giving up on life. Oh, not yet, actually. Sorry. Wade has yet to give up because he is on his last-ditch effort. He pearls it, and he goes to audition for the Avengers. Right before Infinity War, though. The Avengers have broken up. Iron Man is looking for new recruits, and Happy Hogan is interviewing Deadpool to join the Avengers for what might be to come, aka Infinity Wars, and unfortunately Deadpool just isn't what they're looking for. There's a lot of Easter eggs in that scene, so when you're watching, give a good eye on all that shit. But he gets denied. And it kind of hurts him, kind of kills him. So he pearls it. He gives up, and he loses his girl and everything. He ends up working at a used car dealership with Peter, who arguably is, I think, everybody's favorite character. Yeah. Hog Dragon McGee over there. He joins them, has his birthday party, attends the birthday party. The TVA shows up, and they're like, yo, we need you for this sweet mission. Come fuck with us. They take him back to the TVA, where he finds out they're recruiting him to join the 616 cinematic universe, and his universe is dying, and there's nothing he can do about it because Wolverine is the anchor to his universe, and him dying in Logan sent a ripple effect throughout time, which is now creating his timeline to be destroyed. So in his bright brain, he thinks he's got to replace Wolverine, and that's what starts him to hunt down a Wolverine to replace the one in his universe to create that anchor, where we get a beautiful montage of fan service, I would say. So fan service for comic books is way different than fan service for anime. Way different. We got so many good Wolverine fucking outfits. Fucking Hulk versus Wolverine. Henry Cavill is Wolverine. Hella spoilers. Fucking brown and yellow suit Wolverine. Beautiful shit. Fucking gorgeous. And it looked good. So he ends up finding the worst Wolverine, the one from the trailers, which he passes out from being drunk. Deadpool drags him back to the TVA, tells them, I found a Wolverine. We find out that Paradox, the big dick in charge over at this little mission, actually just wants to destroy, he wants to quicken this up, the destruction of this universe. He wants to quicken it up. He has a machine that'll quicken it up. And he says, this isn't my plan. No, we're not doing this. It's either you join the 616 or you die along with the universe. Deadpool doesn't like that. Him and Wolverine both get pruned. Back to the Void they go, where they run into none other than, well, they have a little scrap-a-dap. And then they run into, they fucked?
What?
They did penetrate each other with their weapons. You're right.
Oh, Deadpool and Wolverine.
And they end up running into, after a little scrap-a-dap, they end up being tour guided by Chris Evans, Human Torch, which was fan-fucking-tastic.
That was
pun
fucking
intended.
hilarious.
No pun. Matt does not like puns today. We're going to keep doing them. So Human Torch comes in as they get approached by Cassandra Nova's goons. Of course, Human Torch, cocky motherfuckers, like, I got this, guys. You guys are new. I'm going to hold it down. You guys don't worry about it. I got this. So he flames on, flies in the sky, tries to attack him with some fire. Pyro quickly absorbs it. All the fire out of Human Torch. He falls from the sky and gets knocked out completely. And they get dragged over to Cassandra Nova's little camp.
He got knocked out.
What up, Boudreaux? Yeah, he did get knocked out in a brutal way. We get to Cassandra Nova's camp. She introduces herself, and
she's fucking terrible.
She is a very mean person. Deadpool coaxes her into killing a Human Torch, which we find out in the end credit scene that,
he actually did.
He was talking mad shit about her on the way to camp. And, yeah. What up, Poppy?
Stabs for Darian.
Hey, you're going to be telling a story at the end of this. No, I'm just kidding. We ain't got that kind of time. But, Cassandra Nova, a little scuffle happens. She kind of fucks with them a little bit. Someone's alive to get them.
That's the lady at the end of Doctor Strange 2, right?
No, that's Clea. That's she's the one at the end of Doctor Strange 2 is the daughter to she's the daughter of what's his face from the first one, the enemy from the first one. I forget his name. Dormammu. That's his daughter.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so
bald white woman.
The lady at the end of Doctor Strange 2 wasn't bald.
Oh, I'm thinking of the ancient one.
Full, yeah. She had a full head of hair.
Yeah. I was,
this man is confused.
It was similar.
Yeah, they're both white. So we're in Cassandra Nova's camp. Elias coming in. She's like, I'm going to hide in fucking dead Ant-Man's skull. Elias can't touch me there, so y'all better figure your shit out. They end up taking a Sentinel's leg as a fucking rocket ship all the way to another area, which they find a diner. They kind of talk things out. They remember that old Human Torch, who's now Meat Bones, said that, hey, there's a resistance out there. If you meet up with them, they might be able to help you. And they meet up with the resistance. After getting help, they got a car. What was it? A Honda Odyssey? They got a Honda Odyssey from Nice Pool, which is just a very handsome Ryan Reynolds with his dog, Dogpool.
And very Canadian.
Very Canadian.
Embracing this Canadian.
Embracing the fuck out of it. Jesus Christ. And then they take the Honda Odyssey, end up getting into a little scrap in the car over an argument. It
was not a little scrap.
It was a good fight scene.
It went all day.
Good fight scene.
It went all day.
But anyway, I'm explaining the whole fucking movie. That's my bad. Anyway.
No, you're doing great.
I meant to just do pinpoints.
You are, because there's a lot.
There's a lot. But anyway,
you're doing good pinpoints.
So they fight, get knocked out, they get exhausted. Resistance finds them. They end up getting hyped up. They're like, yo, we got 2 people who survived Cassandra Nova, so I think we can take on that bitch. So with the help of Gambit, Channing Tatum, Wesley Snipes, Blade, Jennifer Gardner's Elektra, and Daphne Keene's X-23 Logan, fucking Laura fucking Wolverine. They all team up and they go take on Cassandra Nova. It's a great fight, so much action, beautiful stuff. They end up getting the Juggernaut helmet, shit goes wild. Elias comes in, he's ready to eat again. They got the upper hand on Cassandra, but she's like, yo, I can help you guys out if you take this helmet off me. They get tricked anyway. I don't want to spoil too much, but she helps them in a way, only this one time, gets them back to Deadpool's universe, where fucking Paradox is with the machine to destroy the universe. And they go there to stop him. Cassandra Nova meets them there with the Deadpool core. She goes down. She's like, I'm just going to destroy the whole multiverse with this bitch. And then Wolverine and Deadpool have to take on the Deadpool core, which was fan-fucking-tastic as well. And all hope seems lost until the greatest Deadpool of them all shows up. Peter Pool.
Peter
with that monster hog on him. Peter with that monster hog on him. We come to find out that Peter is a Nexus being, possibly, for the Deadpools.
He's the anchor.
He's their anchor. All the Deadpools fan over Peter. They love Peter. There's a Peter in every universe where Deadpool loves Peter. So they just celebrate Peter. And Deadpool and Wolverine go down and stop Cassandra Nova. And the day is saved. I'm just going to skip over that real quick.
Peter's the only one that survived from X-Force.
No, also...
No, Shatterstar was there.
Yeah, Shatterstar.
Oh, yeah, Shatterstar
Yeah,
was
also
there.
the other
kept
one.
forgetting who the fuck he was.
Yeah, I know,
Shatterstar.
same. Yeah.
So now that we got all that down, let's talk about our favorite moments we might not have liked, what shined for us, what was improvements from the first two maybe,
Yeah.
what kind of lost it from the first two. What are our thoughts and feelings? Who wants to go first?
I think that it went up. Like, in terms of, like, the first Deadpool kind of proved that, like, Deadpool could stand on its own. And then the second Deadpool kind of, like, improved on, or, like, it incorporated more other Marvel characters, but, like, no one really that important. But, like, it just kind of expanded on that. And then this is like, has like Chris Evans in it, has fucking Hugh Jackman in it, like all that shit. But like, it still stands on its own. Like, it's still, they built a good foundation, like for a Deadpool movie, to the point where it's like everyone else has to play to Deadpool. Like, it's not like Deadpool interacting with these other people. Like, they're in his world. Like, if that makes sense. So like, Chris Evans had to be how he was, like, you know, like Hugh Jackman was kind of like a dickhead, but like it wasn't about him. Like, he was just this dude, this counter force in the Deadpool world, but like it was still Deadpool's world. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like versus like how it was when like fucking Civil War, like Avengers Civil War and like that kind of shit. Like, an Iron Man movie feels different than like a Avengers movie because it's like all those different elements. But this is like still a Deadpool movie. I like too, though, Peter, when Peter said, "We are Deadpool," in the beginning, and then he's like, "Please stop saying that." And then like that comes like that scene with all the Deadpools,
yeah,
and he comes up as Deadpool, and they're like, "Oh my, that's fucking Peter!" And then everyone's like, "Oh, we all love Peter." Like, bro.
Peter.
So I like that shit. It kind of reminds me of the fucking. This is gonna sound like a weird comparison until I explain it. It reminds me of Cabin Fever.
Party guy.
Yeah, no, the like, what's the shotgun for?
Oh, yeah.
Like, but I say that because it's like movies always do like a thing. Like, a lot of movies do that thing where they kind of set up the twist, or they set up something like but in a lot of movies, like, the twist is like obvious. Like, you know that this is gonna come up. You know how this is gonna come up. Like, so in Long Legs, that part in the beginning, it's obvious to me who that was, you know, like, but like, even if that's not bad, that's still like a normal kind of a
but
twist.
the part that it played,
the
bigger part was like, fuck.
But
yes,
like, but just in general, like, that kind of twist is like predictable,
because the part that
versus,
he
like,
played was bigger too. Like, it seemed jokingly like, yeah, we're Deadpool, but like, if it weren't for him,
no, exactly.
They wouldn't have
But that's
saved
what I'm
anything.
saying. But it was like you have to think about that after the fact. Like, Whereas like so in both of those movies, it's like that twist is like you're gonna put the twist on like the joke character, and then like that's where it's gonna come. Like that's fucking. I like that they did that. But yeah, I like the whole fucking thing. There's not really anything I could say that
I really
didn't like.
enjoyed. Again, just the beginning of them saying we're messing up the Logan timeline. They did pretty much the same thing with the beginning of Deadpool 2, where they're like, Wolverine gets his perfect ending, dies. Well, I get a fucking die too then. And in the first Deadpool movie, it was, oh wow, I finally get a movie. Hey guys, look. And it's just like kind of it sets the tone that this is not meant to be taken seriously. I would say the first one can be. Like, it has very serious tones.
I feel like they both are. Deadpool 1 and 2. 3 as well, yeah. But I feel like there is heart behind both of them, to be honest with you.
There's heart
Even
behind
2.
them,
2, it literally has to do with him being selfless.
Oh, no. Yeah, so even 3 has it.
Yeah, no, I think they all have it.
Like,
I think that's the best point of.
beginning.
I think that's the best part of Deadpool.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And so with them not taking it seriously, but keeping that emotion and actually like making you think that there is a reason for this character to even be in the universe or interact with other people while just creating a fun movie. One little small part that like just got me was when Deadpool and Wolverine, they got flown to an island. I can't remember the context, but they got sent there. They're on an island, and they got up, and he's like, "Stop! Get off of me!" He's like, "I'm almost done," or whatnot. It was a joke of him fucking him, and he's like, "I'm going to tell Blake, or I'm going to tell Lively, or whatnot." And it was just like wow, that like either they genuinely wrote, "Let's make a joke about my wife as Ryan
That was
Reynolds."
the second one.
No, and it was in this one.
You know, that was the second joke they made about that.
Oh,
because the first one he says there is some amount of bones in the human body, and then this many when I'm watching Gossip Girl. His wife is in Gossip Girl.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, gotcha.
Calm down, Siri.
Government.
But that little scene kind of, it reminds me of like that to me is what humor is. That's why I love It's Always Sunny. That's why I like The Office. I'm not just saying improv in general, but when something is just not meant to happen and it's just so feels right and you want to keep it. Like, let's like for some songs that I would make with Santuan where he would mess up or say something, but in a flow that's kind of funny. So we'll keep it. We'll keep it in the back or something because it fits. It's fun. And it's just like, it's something. So I like, that's one moment where I'm like, they're just having fun. They're just making a fun fucking thing. They don't care. Like the entirety of Deadpool is already broken contact, broken all the rules, broken all the walls. He says Ryan Reynolds. He says Hugh Jackman. He says like you cannot be like, oh yeah, that doesn't make sense.
No,
but then you get an actual story that you care about, and you're like, what the hell? Like to not have a serious story for the contextual stuff to matter. Like one thing that I thought I was going to have a problem with or was having a problem with until the end was when he was with his family or like I guess he split with the girl and I was like, what the fuck? Like this is all forced. I was like, this is just random forced stuff. Like now we're just trying to get him to care. Like we're going to care about him being sad and he has to go through that. But it never really was. And what I mean by that, he had to go through self stuff, but it never was affecting the other people. It was never like other than that little flashback where you saw that they were in an argument. But other than that, it was like the fact that you were saying it's his story, not the other people's story, but not making them not important as well. Like I thought they were just throwing them away at first. Until the end when they actually kind of nailed the emotions. I was like, all right, they're actually making me feel. They know they are like, we're just fucking around, we're goofing, we're just throwing you right into this. So some things may not make sense, but we'll fill it in, we'll get you in. And I kind of think that's how it is with 2 a little bit, because if I'm not mistaken, yeah, he did do that. Where it's like, how did I get here? And same bullshit.
I think so. When you're saying it's serious, you're talking about serious in the context of like the MCU, not serious in the context of a movie.
Actually, no, I would say in context of a movie, in terms of a story. So all three Deadpools, I would say, is a story contained just for Deadpool. But Deadpool 1 felt like it was
It had the potential to be a
like he was going to have his own kind of superhero thing.
Yeah.
Like a basic thing. Like he had his villain. He beat his villain, but there was somebody that was still alive and still there. He got his girl. And now it's like, okay, now the next one is probably just another villain trying to get at his girl. And it wasn't. It actually ended up being something completely different. And it was amazing how they fucking do that. But it's a great way to flip up those expectations, while the first one felt like it was trying to be a cemented superhero. Like the things that he was saying was still like fourth wall breaking off the wall, but it was still like kind of contextual. Like he was also, it was almost like he was just making normal pop culture references. Now he's just straight up saying like, dude, the fucking part where he was like, oh my god, it was when Paradox said, "Yeah, we want you," and then he runs up to the camera and he's like, "Fuck you, Fox," or like headbutts
I'm going to
the camera.
Disneyland.
Yeah, just like, dude, like what the fuck? Like how I can't imagine any big upper person seeing that and be like, "Yep, we'll allow that. That's not going to cause us any problems."
Not only that, but he even took a shot at the state the MCU is in right now, where he's like, "Yeah, they're bringing me in at their low point." It's like,
said, oh,
that's saying their shit sucks right now.
And then with the multiverse, he gave that
shit
speech
about the multiverse.
Yeah,
but I mean, what I was saying that like about it not being, it's not serious in terms of like in the context of being like a Marvel hero movie, like in addition to Marvel, like it's
right.
It's in a separate world.
It did not.
It's a whole separate. There's no. I honestly could not see. Like Deadpool is good in its own world. Like I couldn't see it really intertwining in a serious way with anything else because it's too like their jobs are different. Like the Deadpool movie series, their job is different. Like you have to get for the MCU like movies to work. You have to be in that world. Like they have to pull you into that world, but Deadpool literally breaks the fourth wall every 5 minutes. So it's like you're not gonna be able to focus on fucking like Kang and then have Deadpool say like Jonathan Majors beat his ass. Like you're not gonna be able to think
Should be
about
hilarious.
It. Like it would be funny, but it would ruin the.
I mean, I don't know because if you take it like the comic book version, because he does in the comic books as well.
It's not comic books though.
But it's based off the comic books.
The Marvel universe is not based off the comic books.
100% based off the comic books.
You literally were the one that said Thanos in it. Thanos, the main
what
villain
I mean
from
is
the first.
it's still a comic book adaptation.
But this is what they're doing with the movies is different than what they do with the comic books. So like
storyline wise, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like they have to get you to buy into that world, and then you can't do that as a movie and then incorporate someone who brings in real life situations.
But what I'm saying is like they do that in the comics where it's like, you have to buy into this situation where it's a world-ending event for them, and you have Deadpool there, and he's still breaking the fourth wall, where he's like, "Don't worry, the next panel's got us good," and they just go, "What the fuck are you talking about, bro?" And then they get to the next panel, he's like, "See, we're good," and they just ignore him completely. They're just like, "Bro, you're fucking insane. Like you don't make sense."
But that's a comic book.
Yeah, but you can do it with the movies as well, and in a very easy and clean way where they do just fucking ignore him. Like, we don't know what you're talking about. They don't know because they're not fourth wall breaking beings.
But that's not what he does.
Well, what I will say, because I get exactly what you're saying, a comparison that I would give would be She-Hulk. The way that She-Hulk was made was fourth wall. She was the first fourth wall breaker.
Yeah, I was about to say
first one to come and do that in the comic books. And so her show, it got to a point where she was scrolling the fucking Disney Plus menu. Like, so I get what you mean. Like, in a context of Avengers fighting, it's like, is Deadpool just gonna pull out like a fucking mallet, like Bugs Bunny or some shit? But I can see it as in terms of like a cameo or just. He would have to be sidelined. I couldn't imagine him being.
He couldn't be a character.
Yes, yeah, I get what you mean. But how he would do it, if so, for a cameo example, would be like how they did in animated Spider-Man or Ultimate Spider-Man. There was an episode where Deadpool was in just that episode. I think he was in a couple episodes, but when he gets in there, he like takes over because like obviously Spider-Man has his monologue, but then Deadpool takes over and he's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm the monologue today,"
Good
and he's like,
episode.
he's breaking the fourth wall, so it's like goofy, and Spider-Man's like, "What the
See,
fuck?"
but
Like,
that's
what the?
but what I'm saying though, in the context of like an MCU thing, even in animated Spider-Man is one thing. The MCU was 95% serious.
Oh yeah,
Like
Like, it
you're
made
like
sense.
like
Anymore.
I get
where
what
would you put him in there? Like like when
He's
when
gonna
there
be in
was
there.
when there was comedic relief, like it was they had their fucking funny moments. Like Guardians had funny moments.
Spider-Man.
Like the fucking that part in one of the Avengers where Thor and fucking what's his name?
Rocket.
No,
Peter Quill.
Peter.
Peter.
They were like standing, they were having like a face off or some shit like
Yeah.
that. Like that part was funny, but like the funny moments are few and far between, and Deadpool is just funny.
Well, I think I think that's kind of where no, they still do a kind of a decent job at his serious side as well, because his serious side does come out often, but only in like dire moments. But I think what they'd have to do, because he's definitely gonna be in Secret Wars, so there's no stopping that. I think they have to learn how to balance him with the rest of everyone else to where it's not overdone, to where it's kind of just like, in my opinion, they have to read a comic. They'll have to read Deadpool comics where he is with other people. Like there's a whole Spider-Man Deadpool run. That one's fan-fucking-tastic. Currently, he's with Taskmaster right now, and they're doing mercenary shit together. So, like, you're going to have to read comic books where he does interact with other heroes. And, like, perfect ones, they got Deadpool versus Hawkeye, Deadpool versus Punisher, Black Panther, Wolverine, all these stories where he's interacting with other people. And I think as long as they take that version and, like, how he interacts with them there, and they incorporate that into the movies, I think they'll be fine. Because again, it's few and far between when he breaks the fourth wall in the comics, because he breaks the fourth wall, but it's like it makes sense in the moment for that comic.
For that comic.
So if they do that, because you can, just like the comics, you can adapt it to the movie. You just have to figure out how you're going to do it. This movie was just like Deadpool 3 was just paying homage to all the history that Fox has built with their movies. And not just Fox, because Blade wasn't under Fox, if I'm not mistaken. What was Blade under?
No, I think they were.
Was Blade under Fox? Wes, could you fact check us real quick, my friend? But and check for Elektra as well, please and thank you.
Wait, that was Fox.
Well, we're just gonna have Wes double check real quick. But I don't remember which one they were under. I just know that Blade saved the Marvel universe movie wise. But I think they were just it was like that movie was just to pay a homage to all of those old movies that no longer like have a home. And it ended up giving them a home because their timeline didn't die.
Yeah.
They're not in the MCU. Everybody thought that this movie was going to bring them over to the MCU, and it didn't. And I think that's where Secret Wars is going to be. Blade was New Line Cinema. Thank you. What was Elektra? Fox. Okay, just want to make sure. So yeah, Blade wasn't Fox New Line Cinema, but I think they were just paying homage to kind of like what came before. You know, the hits and the misses, because Elektra was a miss, and Blade was a hit till 3. You know,
Channing Tatum's
didn't even make it. And I think that was actually perfect.
Probably
because
of the
that's the three kinds. You have the hit Blade, you have the miss Elektra, and you have the one that never even fucking made it, Channing Tatum's Gambit. And I think that's a perfect trifecta of what came before the MCU or even during, which would be Channing Tatum's Fox universe.
If Channing Tatum, I think for the purpose of that movie, it was good. But if he was going to be serious, then I would want his eyes to be blacked out, like how Gambit's are.
That would have been fire.
Yeah, I don't like.
That was the only not accurate part of that suit.
Yeah, I didn't like.
They gave him his stupid ass little helmet and everything.
He looked dumb as fuck.
I loved he was my.
I couldn't take him.
He was my third favorite part of that movie. Third favorite part of that movie.
That every time he said anything,
Bro, interacting with anybody was just fucking hilarious. I loved
But
Channing
I
Tatum.
think like Channing Tatum kind of has become like a character that like when he's a cameo in a movie, he's not serious.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, I was
in
just about
nothing.
to say he's gotten
Like-
to the point, and John Cena's at that point where I'm just like,
What are you
it's
gonna
just
do that's
them.
funny?
They're just
Yeah,
they're just
yeah.
goofy guys.
Yeah.
Like when I saw Channing Tatum, Matt, I wasn't like, oh, that's Gambit, oh, that's his, or any. I was just like, gosh, fucking Channing Tatum, dude.
It's when
What
he
the
started
fuck?
talking for
yeah,
me, dude.
dude. I was
God,
like,
bro.
oh,
I was hyped up. I'm like, yeah, they got him. And then he started talking. I was like, oh, they got him.
yeah, I was like, they got
Oh,
it.
they got him. But he's like, dude,
It
he's
was
the
so
cameo
good.
king to me right now.
Yeah,
Everything,
real.
like you said, everything. He like Bullet Train. He was in there for like 2 seconds.
that shit was
He's
funny.
like, "Is this the weird sex stuff?" It's just like, what are you doing, bro?
Bro, did you notice that they didn't kill Kid Pool or Baby Pool?
They didn't kill Baby Pool.
They didn't kill Kid Pool either.
Well, they didn't
Mm-mm.
in that fight.
I was looking for it. I was like, "There's no way they're gonna
They
do
didn't
that."
kill any of them.
Well, I mean, technically, no.
They didn't.
Oh, you mean-
they didn't attack?
Okay,
like
gotcha,
they
gotcha.
weren't there in the fight montage.
Also, did you notice his guns were water guns?
No.
Yeah, bro. When they were like shooting, his were just water guns. And then also like when they used Nice Pool as a shield. First off, when you use him as a shield, he's like they're behind the first car, and he's like, "There's a donut cart that's basically a med kit."
Yeah.
dude.
There was a medical store right behind the donut cart, and I'm just like, in the movie when they walk out after he's dead, I was just like, the
Why
medical
could he
store
not
right there,
regenerate?
huh?
Why could he not regenerate?
He was the only one who couldn't.
That makes no fucking. You're a
was the-
Deadpool.
Some of them don't.
Oh yeah, good point. He
He
was
was
just
Nice
a
Pool.
Canadian.
Yeah, he was nice pool.
Just
I love
a
how his
fucking
suit
Canadian.
looked like a bad fan cast, or like the older version of the Marvels like suits. Like that's
Yeah.
what a bad version of the Deadpool suit.
Yeah.
It does look like it looked like it was like a Power Rangers suit.
I was about
Yeah,
to say
dude,
the
in
Power
a
Rangers.
sense, dude. Nice Pool was fucking hilarious.
So fucking
And then his fourth wall breaking. was
Dude,
I can break the fourth wall as well. The proposal. And I just went
Just
back. and
stared
he's
at the camera.
Dude, what the fuck was
See,
that?
I think that's one thing about this movie is it's definitely the funniest. The comedic timing
Oh my
was
God.
on another
Yeah,
level.
it
It
was
was
insane.
unreal.
The
So
jokes-
many fun.
The jokes.
The
were fucking
jokes like when fucking Channing Tatum was talking about, they were talking about like, you know, some universes are forgotten, and he's like, some universes didn't even get made. And I was like, God damn, this poor man. And then when Wesley Snipes was like, there's only one blade, and there'll only ever be one blade.
And he just
Deadpool
looked.
looked at the
Deadpool
camera.
looked right at the fucking
Fuck.
camera.
The shit was hilarious.
Yeah,
And it
that
was
shit
just
was
good
funny
to
as
see
fuck.
Wesley Snipes in that bitch, because him and Ryan Reynolds did not get along during Blade 3.
That's-
And I want an
said that.
interview.
Yeah, they made a joke.
They
in
said
it.
something.
What
about
was
that.
the joke?
He said, he's like, I don't like you, and he was like, you never did.
Yeah, yeah. That's
When
They
why
said
did
that,
they
I was
get
like-
along? I didn't know about that.
Yes.
I don't. A lot of people. I mean, you can look up a bunch of stories online. A lot of people said he was just in character.
Ryan,
Blade, yeah, Wesley, because he kept calling Ryan the cracker on set. He was just like, just get the cracker or some shit like that.
fuck?
So he just kept calling him that. Like he did not like Ryan Reynolds at all, and he just didn't want to do that movie at that point. If I'm pretty sure, because they had to CGI his eyes open at the end.
Yeah, I remember that.
I
That
thought
was
we gotta watch
funny.
Deadpool 3 again, because I need to see if they make a joke about that. Because he just hated that movie. So again, that's another reason why I was surprised that he came back. But I mean, again, like I was telling somebody today, I was like, you know, as you get older, you kind of just see your past mistakes and like that was kind of childish or whatever.
Yeah, that's stupid as fuck.
So I mean, it was just so good to see him. And then he's like, "Yeah, I see motherfuckers still trying to ice skate uphill." And I was like, "Yes, this is what we need right here, baby.
Yeah,
This is what we need."
that was it. It was a very good feeling movie. There wasn't. I will say, like to what you said, that would be something that, like, if I was gonna say something that annoyed me or like kind of nitpicked, I guess it would be that, like where did him breaking up with his girl come from? Like, you know, like, or like, oh, I get
Yeah.
I get it, but like it also wasn't like that big of a deal
Exactly.
in it. But that was his motivation for the entire movie, was like he needed to like level up, and he wanted to do it for her, like for
The
that.
only actual one kind of nitpick that I could genuinely say, like, to be changed would be when Logan, like, at the end, when he came back to when they had Cassandra, they were holding her hostage, and then Logan's just like, no, let her go, take it off of her, had that change of heart. That's not the annoying part, but the annoying part that got me was they kind of leaned into the trope that they were making fun of, and it was a part that I didn't know, like, it could have been funny, but I felt like they played it as serious, where Logan was like, and when I wear this suit, I am the X-Man. I was just like, why?
Solid line.
And then he said it again, and like when they were about to die, and he's like, remember, I am the X-Man, or something. They played again. I was like, that doesn't feel right. Like, has anybody ever in the history of X-Men called them the X-Man?
X-Man is an actual character.
X-Man?
Yeah, it's an actual character.
Oh.
So
okay,
it's
so
not him.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, so he's just lying.
I don't know. But
no, that's just like a little nitpick where because at the beginning, for them to say we're doing the grave shit, that was enough for me to be like, oh, they're just going to be joking around. Can't take this seriously. But then as it started kind of getting serious, where they're wanting to make this Logan, like, you want to care for him, like having the little trauma, talking with Laura again, stuff like that. That's, I was like, okay, there's going to be a little serious. Is this going to be a wrap up for him? So for him to be like, I am the X-Man, I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, I liked it. I mean, like, I feel like the humor overshadowed everything.
100%.
The humor.
I still don't think I would
everything.
take it seriously.
And that fucking monologue in the car, boy, he fucking snapped. Hugh Jackman.
Oh yeah.
He was like, you fuck up everything. You couldn't even fix a fucking relationship with a stripper.
God,
I was like,
God,
Jesus
when he said that shit hurt
Christ.
me.
I was like, dang. And then that was probably like the only moment that I remember. Like, I mean, there were obviously the first one, and I think there was like a couple moments, like brief moments, but like that was the one moment that I remember from Deadpool where he was like serious, where he was just like, okay, we're gonna fight now. Like,
yeah. Hurt his feelings.
Yeah, that really hurt his feelings.
I'm glad that they show that in the movies, because as a comic book reader, it gets annoying. But as a comic book reader who's actually read Deadpool comic books and stories that involve him, everybody just thinks he's a fucking running on joke. And he's not. He's really not. Like, right now he has a daughter. Well, he has two daughters. One of them is a symbiote, but we won't even talk about that. But he has an actual daughter. And like part of the storyline is like he keeps his distance because he wants to keep her safe. So he like visits her when he can, and he has to battle with the fact that he's not the father he wants to be, which is an interesting story for Deadpool. But it's like there's a storyline where he refuses to kill a kid, and everybody else on the team is like,
yeah,
we're killing this kid. And he's like, no, I'm refused to kill a child who's yet to do anything wrong. So there's a lot of stories where he's humanized, but everyone just sees him as a joke because they don't actually dive into the source material. And I'm glad in the movies they do bring out that human side of him, because like in the first movie, like he leaves his girl because he doesn't want her to deal with the fact that he's going to die of cancer and he's going to leave her, and that's like, he doesn't want that to be a thing. And then in the second one, she dies because he got lazy and didn't finish the job that he was on, and they came back and got revenge, and he couldn't accept that. So he tried to kill himself, but he didn't earn the death that he was getting to, get back with his girl. Like, there are human arcs to him in these movies. And the third one, it's about him being better than himself. Like, everything he's done technically has been for himself. So the third movie is about him being selfless. Like when Happy Hogan said, Avengers isn't about you needing them, it's about them needing you. That meant more than just the Avengers. It meant his family, the people he loved. He needs them. It wasn't about till the end, till they needed him to save the world, and he did. So I like that they incorporate those humanized versions of him in there, because he's more than just a joke. Oh, yeah. Like it's fun, it's great, but he is still a character. Like in Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, he learns that he is like, the reason he kills the Marvel Universe is he finds out that the only reason that bad shit ever happens to him is because readers find it funny.